Hey guys, not remix here for another not remix reacts. Today we got my series reviewed. So we're reviewing the review. Oh my god, that is loud. Okay. So I'm probably just not going to watch the whole, well, I'm going to watch the whole thing, but probably not going to like have the whole thing in the video because I'm going to edit out to highlight, so I'll talk when needed. Yeet. I'll say that I'm going into this blind, by the way. I've seen the title. I made the thumbnail. Literally, it's my thumbnail. I commented on the video. I was there in the replay or whatever, the live premiere, but I didn't actually watch it. I also looked at the description, which I wish I didn't because it has this funny, so it has the timestamps of like when things happen, and then you get down to this one. Yeah, and power scalding. I hope that made me chuckle as well. Not as much as this one, but scalding, I hope that wasn't a typo and that's what it is.
The story takes place in purgatory.
Oh snap! I know exactly what song he's using. You know why? This is crazy. Okay, we're gonna give me a sec. So we're going to my music playlist. We're going to here. We got the same exact song playing, bruh. Why is this song so popular on YouTube? I don't understand. What is this? Oh my god. You know, what I don't understand is the gameplay. Like, look. I understand visuals. That got me with my series too. Look. What is this?
We follow Michael, the dumbest protagonist I've seen in a bit.
Dang. Michael, the dumbest protagonist you've seen in a bit. Okay, what animes have you seen recently then, huh? Since it's been in a bit. Because he's not the dumbest one ever. Just the dumbest one in a bit. Look, I already know you're going to say, oh, he loves the devil and hates the angels. Look. Shut up. That's not necessarily true, and in Season 2, you will see a lot more on that that's expanded on. But look, the angel wasn't trustworthy, and the devil showed him the truth. That is what happened. Regardless of how he felt correctly about the situation. It's more complex than just what you said.
With the yin and yang, trying to beat the ever...
I want to hear what he has to say on that, because he's right. For Season 1, it technically was irrelevant. Plays a little bit of a thing in the Season 1 finale, but this is the most mysterious part of the show. This is why it's a mystery. It's an overarching theme. So in Season 1, it doesn't count because it's a singular season. But because it's an overarching theme, it's like The Walking Dead. Okay, The Walking Dead has themes it displays in every single season, but the overarching theme of The Walking Dead is about survival. Even the main theme of Rick wanting to protect his family, that stops being a theme once Rick leaves. And because of that, that is why Rick leaves, because the theme shifts. So now we have a different theme, whereas the overarching theme of the entire show has always been survival.
Michael meets the angel. They do argue with each other, and it goes on for around 5 episodes. Angel teaches Michael how...
Bruh. Okay, look, if you're gonna say nonsense, at least have it be accurate. It goes on for about 5 episodes. Either say it goes on for like 2 or 8, or the whole series. Look, don't say 5, because 5 was that epic climactic fight that I hyped up that I expected more of a reaction out of you from. So disappointed. I love you, don't worry. It's cool. You're good. You're good.
Michael is a good boy. He doesn't want to do that. Which released his Morgekyu Sharingan, his Nine Tails, his Ultra Instinct, his inner demon powers, his protagonist powers that unlocks everything.
The editing I like to see. I mean, you're not wrong. He's the chosen one. All this nonsense of writing, screenplay, directives, motives. Yeah, okay, you got it. But the powers, it's a high concept power. It's not just, oh, he was blah blah to get it. This is his power. No, it's explained in the coolest of ways, scientifically, through the series. You'll love the explanation. If you've already got it, which it's kind of already been hinted at, it's expanded on in the movies, and then especially in Season 2. Season 2 is where it all kicks up. Don't worry, you're gonna love Season 2.
He needs to beat everybody up, then he gets triggered and goes back to normal.
That's interesting. He says that Michael gets triggered, which turns his berserk form into a not berserk form. Go back and rewatch that moment. He turns back to his not berserk form because the old woman calls him a different name. In fact, I'll even expand on this. This is a name that no one in the series has heard yet. This isn't Michael. This isn't whatever other names are in the series. There's a completely different name. The old woman says, and that memory snaps him out of his berserk form.
Himself into hell, gets Kaneki. Angel comes
my
with angels and God after 20 years.
Look, okay, Kaneki's torturedness, huge inspiration for like all of the second half of this season. And then even season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul is kind of like the same mood for season 2 of False Perfections. And then you get Tokyo Ghoul Re, which is almost identical to season 3 of False Perfection. Don't worry, we'll get there in a couple of decades probably. Probably like 2024, 2025. We'll see. Maybe 2023.
A fight against an evil woman who may or may not be his mom.
Yes, I love that. He still doesn't know. Oh, I love that. You will see in the movie because I pretty much, because of the movie, the way it's written, I have to directly explain who the evil woman is and the angel are in relation to Michael. But I love how I left it open-ended in the series, and now people don't know. Oh, my neighbor who read the book even didn't know until I fully explained, and then she loved it. Oh, I love how that's a mystery throughout the whole thing that I'm going to keep going throughout season 2, even though the movie's going to be out. But for those that don't watch the movie, because, okay, the movie's going to have a different, like, not chronological, but it's almost like a different time space. Different things happen, but it's overall telling a very similar story. Different themes, writing, and obviously the structure is different because it's a movie rather than episodic.
Overall, this story was okay. Why?
This story was okay.
Well, some things didn't make sense.
Plot isn't story. I wonder what he thinks about the plot. The story itself, I really, really want to hear what he says. The story especially is basically all in episode 13 because that's where all of it kicks off, basically with the evil woman's speech and all that.
Yin and Yang and the whole prequel story, it didn't really have any significance on the story.
Okay, that's fair. I'm just saying right now, season 2 starts off with the yin and yang. This is going to be a thing that is in the background of all the seasons, probably all the movies, especially one of the standalone movies, because there's going to be 2 movies. Oh, spoilers, don't tell anyone. Yin and yang are expanded on, just not as much in the foreground as you would like them to be considered relevant.
It felt a little rushed story-wise.
A little rushed.
Season.
You know what? Okay, the pacing, how can I put this? I feel like he might be right. First of all, because I had limited time making these episodes, so I want to make them specifically on the minute just to look more professional. But some of these episodes are 17 minutes long, whereas a professional anime studio, obviously they're going to make it like 23, 25 minutes long, depending on how long the intro is. With all the advertisements of the commercial breaks, breaking up into 5 act structure so you can have 5 commercial breaks, 5 acts. This is all things that TV studios do. This is why episodes are certain lengths, because they need the time for the advertisements, which they do all that production behind the scenes. I didn't have to deal with any of that. No breaks. It's just full go, so 17 minutes on average-ish, probably, hopefully. Except for the final episode and episode 6, which were both outliers. But you're right, this story could have been told the pretty much exact same way, just expanded on. Different pacing, which I want to go back and fix the pacing in the subtitles especially. But closer to that 25-minute mark is where it should have been. The pacing is rushed because of time and budget, and because that's just how it was. I'm not experienced. Now I'm more experienced because I've done a whole season. Another thing, I'm adapting it based off the book. This is an adaptation series, technically, kind of, because the book technically was written completed first.
The Memory Crystal. It's
mentioned twice. Mentioned twice, never brought up again. Not in the movie, taken completely out. It's a season 2 thing. There you go. That's the explanation for everything. It's a season 2 thing. Oh my god, season 2 is going to be hype. Yes, I'm going to hype it up all video. Okay, you know what? I will say, this is my fault. It was brought up more than 3 times. Just audibly it was. Visually, it appears in almost every episode. There's a memory crystal being gathered in pretty much every episode. That's almost the point. I will say the whole point of the memory crystal probably shouldn't have been the series. The only reason it was is because it was for a video game. So you can have like a fetch quest kind of deal. You can go to each memory, collect the crystal, and that's how you go on to the next thing. And you can check your inventory, and it's down there. Oh, yeah, great RPG Maker game. That was the original concept, original idea. You're just some guy, and you're exploring an old man's life in reverse. That's the whole concept, because old men, people can have crazy stories on their deathbed about their life. So let's see what that looks like in a story, and then flesh that out for a couple years, and then you get False Perfections.
So the animation, it does shift from relatively good to okay. Half the time it is just stock images, They made sure that looked good.
Yes.
Hopefully,
okay. Do not underestimate how much goes into these gosh darn animations. I don't care how rushed the stock images part are, except for the parts that are actually CG and made specifically for the series, which you probably don't realize how much of that was. But a lot of it was pulled straight from the animations. So I'd say like 90% plus of the series is completely original. I just needed some stock images to just boost me that extra little way. It's like a dead weight loss in economics, and then you get the tax or the whatever to make the gap into the new equilibrium. It's an economic thing. If you know, you know.
this is the first season, so I'll let slide this time.
Let it slide this time? Okay, that's fair. Hopefully season 2 will have a higher budget. That is my goal. And that's going to be based off the movie. How well is the movie going to perform? Hopefully, tremendously, and I'm viral, and it's the best thing ever, and you all need to promote it so that that happens, so that season 2 can be the best thing ever. Otherwise, it's going to be kind of difficult, and it might be just pretty much a little bit better than season 1, but we will see. A lot goes into this. The colors, the design, the specific visuals that happen. I link the animators' inspirations. So, for example, if there's a Naruto clip that is similar, I'll link it. If there is a Tokyo Ghoul clip that I think the choreography would work, I would link that. If there's a character design, we have just this week specifically, I have talked about a shoe color design on one new character for season 2, also for other things for the rest of season 1. But dude, shoe color design, I had a 30-minute discussion on this. This is how unimportant details are in my series. Everything is a story.
Surprisingly enough, everyone sounded amazing.
I'd say voice acting was one of the weakest parts of the series, specifically for me because I suck. Not as a voice actor, but because of my technology is just not there, and it needs to be there. And even if it is there, it's like the cheapest to be there, and I still don't know how to properly use the there of the cheapness of the best quality possibility that I have. Even then, I'm going to replace my voice actor in the movie, so it's going to be a completely new voice actor for the movie. I will do season 2. Just because, first of all, it helps with budget. Second of all, it's exactly what I want. I don't have to go back and forth between another voice actor. That's just one less cog in the machine. So the more I can do, the better. I'm doing as much as I can, and everything else I'd subsidize. Subsidize was the word I was looking for in the economics. I subsidize with other people. So the art, the animation, voice acting. Obviously, I can't do all the characters voice acting myself. But the art animation, I technically could. It would just take so long of a time. But I have a schedule I'm trying to follow, specifically for myself. So if I need to set the schedule, and even if it's not exactly perfect the way I would, because I'm still rewriting season 1, technically. Even after 5 years, I'm rewriting extra things in season 1. I added things today to go into the movie. Even once the movie comes out, I'm going to be completely done with season 1. Never touch it again. I'm still going to have ideas I'm going to write down. I'm just going to have to allocate it to a different season or a different series. That's just how my brain works. You never stop writing anything. Anything. You always continuously write something, regardless of when it comes out. So that means you have to set deadlines. And when that deadline comes, the thing needs to be out. And that's just how it is. Otherwise, it's never going to come out. You can keep making something better all day long, forever. But if it never comes out, it doesn't matter how good it is, because it's not out.
There are some cringy lines, but it's not the fault of the voice actors. Overall, it's really good.
Oh, bruh. Some cringy lines, not the fault of the voice actor. Whose fault is it then? This guy? Look, cringy is my nature. Do not diss my voice lines. I put so much effort into making those cringy work. There were no cringe lines that didn't work, except for the ones that may have not. But we will discuss that in the DMs.
I rate this 9 out of 10.
Awesome. I will say, there are a lot of voice actors in my series. Probably about 15, probably going on 20, especially for season 2. There's going to be a lot of new voices. So everyone has a part to play. I'm not going to call anyone out for being better or worse than others, but I will say I was pleasantly surprised that I was able to learn everyone's different techniques and various... You pick up on the small things on people, the way people smile, the way they sound during certain different scenes, how to work with different people, because if you bring the same techniques to the same voice actors, you're going to get different results anyways. So you might as well try and learn each voice actor to treat them as their own project rather than working on one project together, even though that's the end result. But that's as an editor. As a producer, I am in pre-production. I'm not touching the editing yet. So I'm more focused on making the actors as comfortable as they can so they can perform the best performance that they can. And that especially goes, you can specifically see that with the art. The art style changes based on the animator. Every single animator I have, there's like 7 or 8. That means there's 7 or 8 different art styles in the series. That makes it kind of like Mob Psycho, but bad, and I don't know why. But I want the animators and the artists to be as comfortable as they can. I'm not going to have them specifically focus on one art style, because that's not their art style. What I want is them to do their art style, regardless of how different it is. So that way, they can do their best job, so that my series can be as good as possible, even if it's not consistent.
Now let's get into the meat and potatoes. And please don't get offended by this. It's just criticism and how you could improve the characters.
You can't improve the characters. They're perfect. No, let's see what he has to say.
Let's start off with the protagonist.
Okay, protagonist.
Michael.
This is what I'm waiting for. This specifically is the advice I need. This is why I've waited so long to finish my script for the movie, technically, even though it's 30 plus pages long at this point. But the script is basically done. You focus on Michael. It shifts from Michael to the 2 mothers, and that's for the future going forward to make it more politically correct. We will see. It's gonna be female empowerment to the max. Don't worry. It's gonna be amazing. I already have the song. Yeah, the song. Let me say it a 3rd time. The song and the movie poster being worked on. It's gonna be amazing.
He is not trusting the only person that you can trust, in my opinion. Michael's very dumb.
I will say, why can't he trust himself? Because that would be the only person he can trust. Why is he going to trust an untrustworthy angel, of which is very untrustworthy? And why is he trusting the devil? Because the devil actually showed him the truth, and he knows because he remembers it. And he would know he remembers it specifically because he didn't remember in the same way from the angel's memories.
Episode 14, joke episode. Michael says it in the doctor's office, thank God, which would insinuate that he believes in God, an angel.
Ah, he got the joke. Oh my gosh. So, okay. In the parody version, in that... Again, this is something that I wrote not specifically for the parody version, but I brought over to the parody version because there was a doctor scene. Okay, so imagine you're a doctor, right? And as a doctor, you tell the patient, hey, I just saved your life, and it was so difficult, but my critical life-saving operation was a success. And then they say, oh, thanks, God. Imagine how that doctor...
and says, hey, let's go to heaven. He should jump on that train right away, but he doesn't, and he's suspicious to the point of paranoia.
Nah, he cares about the truth. He doesn't care anymore about going to heaven. You see that shift throughout Season 1. Season 1's goal, get to heaven. He got to heaven by the end. Season 2 goal, learn the truth. Does he learn the truth by the end? Watch and find out.
When he meets Satan, he's like, oh yeah, bro, I got you. What you need, fam, I got you. It gets confusing. Also, he threw himself into hell and was surprised to get tortured. I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I hope he becomes more competent as it goes on. If not, I'll probably root for him to die.
Bruh, more competent? Oh my god. You calling him weak? First of all, he's stronger than the average person. Very easily seen. I've even power scaled it, so I know specifically what the numbers are. In fact, that is like his whole philosophy. His mental state has changed. He can control his purgatory wing things. He is like one of the strongest characters other than the God and Devil. And you will see that. Oh my god.
He needs a motive, which is something...
Bruh, motive. You're right. Throughout Season 1, didn't really have motive. His goal was to get to heaven. Didn't really care about that. Didn't hear it much. I mean, other than his actions, he actually went on the journey, even though how much he hated it, which kind of shows it as like an anti-motive of, oh, it's not that he's motivated, it's just that he's unmotivated to not do it, which you see through his disgust of his own actions. Season 2, his motive is clear and strong and repeated several times. Very cool, like.
You could say that he wanted to save dust people. What is his motive?
This is one of my favorite things. Oh my god, I'm pausing the video every like 2 seconds. It's 7 minutes in. I've been recording for 30 minutes. But you could say that he has 2 motives, and he has to choose one or the other. And that's his character arc, is that he can't choose. And that leads him to fall down into hell at the end of the Season 1 mid-finale thing. That's his character arc at that point, which you could say that's a completed character arc. The rest of his character arc in the season 1B, which is technically a weird way to say season 2, but like it's season 1B because it's all interconnected, whereas season 2 is kind of its own thing, but then season 3 is really its own thing. His full character arc is realizing he has to choose one or the other. He chooses to save dust people instead of going to heaven, which was his original goal. That was his whole shift from that character arc. His whole character arc is realizing he can do both. He can do whatever the heck he wants. He just gotta be strong and mentally there. Otherwise, the same thing will happen that led him to falling in hell in the first place.
The Angel. Some reasons are her quote-unquote bipolar, because she doesn't act...
I knew you were going to say that. I knew it. I mentioned it once in a mid-title card and never at all in the actual series. But because I had the interview with you in episode 6 and I mentioned it like 18 bajillion times, I knew you were going to say that as like the one dislike. How many times did I mention it through comments, whereas in the series it's mentioned a single time? I want to hear what he has to say. Oh, I feel like I've so skewed this to an unimaginable amount.
The creator says that she's
The creator says, get out of here with that. This is a series review. I told you, Ice Cube, this is all me. He's specifically talking to me now.
If you are looking for a good example for bipolar to expand upon, or you just want to know a little bit more about what bipolar actually is, instead of the common misconceptions, I would recommend this video. But the disorder I would suggest for the Angel would be personality disorder. Well, borderline personality disorder.
Oh, that's interesting. He's bringing research into it. He's actually done that. Man, I didn't do that. Man, now I wish I looked up bipolar and then personality disorder. Man, he's good with this. I'm gonna switch the lore. Say, oh, some say she is bipolar, but really she has multiple personalities. Or let's see what he has to say.
From hostile to sweet real quick.
I can say, from a story perspective, bipolar would make more sense than multi-personality because she is one person. And she's not multiple people. But, heck, I'm uninformed, like I said. I didn't do the research like you very clearly have, so maybe I'm wrong anyways.
She's low-key useless. She pulls a Yamcha or Sakura.
Okay, look. First of all, she can fight. I went over her choreography in the mid-title card. She, like, rotates or whatever, and Gordy uses the straight line attacks, and then Michael has a combination of the two. So she can fight. It's just that animation is hard, just like English is hard. So, Don't worry, season 2, she's epic. No, when I say just wait, I mean really just wait.
But I guess she's useful in some instances, such as explaining purgatory.
Yep, she becomes a mentor, and eventually the mentor becomes killed off, which in this instance is being separated from Michael so that the mentor can no longer be there to guide him. So he has to go through a character arc all on his own, rather than with the guidance of a mentor, and that is how you write characters.
Gordon, he's amazing. I kind of wish he lived up to the hype, but I can't really complain.
Okay, look, I'm just saying, I think he lived up to the hype. Whatever time he was on screen, he basically was doing stuff. You can't say that about the Angel. At least the Angel was given info. Gordon didn't have to give info. He was just cool, and he was there. I'm not saying he didn't live up to the hype because you overhyped him. I think he's hyped perfectly in the show. He is not overwhelming, he's just whelming. He was mentioned like once or twice before his introduction in episode 9 of 13. And from there, he's not even in every episode beyond that point. He is barely on screen, and every time he is, he's epic.
Evil Woman. She was a pretty good villain.
Best character.
Her backstory is a bit wobbly, and I would like that to be more fleshed out.
It is in the movie. Again. It is.
Also, I want a name for her until you tell me she's bitch.
Her name is Stella.
Anyways, I think the psychopath root.
Her name is Stella. S-T-E-L-L-A. Just never went over it in season 1. My bad. I went back to rewatch your reactions. English is hard. And you do comment on that a couple times, how the evil woman doesn't have a name, and she probably has because she's like, her level of importance requires a name. She has a name now. Don't worry. I didn't mention it in season 1 because it never came up, but hey, there you go.
I don't know. Elias have the definition of...
Oh snap, he got the definition and everything. A sadist? Okay, let's see what this is.
Have the...
A person who derives pleasure, especially... from inflicting pain or humiliation on a... Well, forget the humiliation parts. But yeah, the pain. He liked it. The thing is, her character arc, because we're getting all these character arcs, it might as well just be an hour-long video. Screw it. Again, I get into her character as well as the Angel's character way more in the movie. The evil woman's character arc is she loves Michael to, like, the small secret. She hates Michael 95% of the way, but she loves Michael that extra like 5 to 2%, whatever you want to call it. But then she realizes, okay, well that's where her character starts. Throughout her journey, she realizes she doesn't love Michael. She loves to hate Michael. Boom. Just blew your mind.
The definition of Unogashia.
Oh my god.
Toga.
Oh, you know what? Yuno was my inspiration for the angel, especially during that one scene in episode 6 where like it's at the very end, and it was Yuno and Yuki, and the Yuki was rising up looking at the angel, the Yuno character. It was like end of episode 23, 24. Bruh, Azula. Azula would be good for the evil one. I'm glad you said that. I will keep that in mind. Thank you for the inspiration going forward. Now, I will say, like, again, the script is like 99% complete because you took 4 bajillion years to get this out, but that's okay. Because, like I already mentioned earlier, I'm always rewriting it. I'll be rewriting this in 20 years from now. I was rewriting this 5 years ago. It's always in a rewrite. So even though it's like 99% of the way done, because it was already written, then I finished it. Then I tweaked it to be better but finished still. So, and then I expanded it, and now we are where we are after this long while of it being done, season 1, and in between season 1 and the season 1 content before season 2. So, season 2, season 3, it's all basically done. But we will get more evil woman scenes, and she is probably going to be the embodiment of what you love.
These next ones are going to be rapid fire, so let's go. Evil man, he's thick boy. God, cool dude, can't wait to see more. Satan, bitch boy. The Stevensons, irrelevant. Maria, irrelevant. And hot god dust lady is fucking god tier, okay? This part is for future characters. Well, just 3.
What is this?
First one, redheaded guy. We see him in the first opening near the end, and he is swell as fuck. Swole.
I can't say anything on that.
Next character, hot goddess dust lady. I swear, on protagonist Kun's face, if she doesn't make an appearance in season 2, there will be hell to pay.
What are you saying on this guy?
Then there's me. Yes, I've been confirmed for season 2, I think. Only thing I do know is that I'll be there in some way. Maybe.
Bruh, remix. I'm just saying. First of all, would be glad to have you. It's probably gonna happen. Second of all, I was mainly hinting at the parody episode because like half of those jokes were because of you. That was like the whole main thing I was hyping, building up. But yeah, no, I can totally have you in the season 2 in movie or whatever. You know, especially the movies. Hit me up. I'm gonna get you in an OVA specifically for you. You got this. Yeah, there we go.